Aries, hello, my loves. I hope y'all are doing well. Right before I started your video, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. There was a Scorpio. I mean, a scorpion, like a scorpion, just like crawling on my floor. I was like, oh my god! I just got a cup and I scooped it and threw it outside. Desert life. Aries, I just wanted to share that story. I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. Y'all got the Destroyer, the Fault Line, the Shadow, the Comic, the Mentor, the Ring, and the Offering. Well, Aries, we got a lot of Aries energy that's been going on lately, which is fun and fantastic, and I'm loving because, oh, fire. Yeah. But I think that there's just been a lot of destructive energy that you have either been existing in or experiencing or a combination of the two, but it's just kind of like when you're in your shadow state. And here's the thing with the destroyer energy, right? Because sometimes we need to be in that energy. Sometimes it is important for us in terms of survival. Oftentimes, when we are caught in a cycle of survival, we can exhibit traits that resemble the aggression that we used as a safety measure when necessary, right? If I'm being attacked and I have to protect myself from you, I might be a little aggressive about it. I might be a little destructive about it because why the fuck am I protecting myself from you? Do you know what I mean? Like there's just this sense of, well, and also if you're dealing with somebody who like you've communicated your needs and those needs have been disregarded, like an infinite number of times to the point where you need to protect yourself, you're going to be aggressive about it, especially a fucking Aries, because Aries don't fuck around, right? No, they sure don't. But when you exist in that energy excessively, it exhibits itself, like when you are in your shadow state. And I feel like it's exhibited itself. And I guess I share all of that because I feel like, for some of my Aries, and for most people, honestly, like it comes from trauma. It comes from trauma from your childhood, trauma from life experiences, trauma from, the world. And so we get in this like survival mode. And I think that, like as a society, we're kind of set up to function that way. And it shows, you know, and I think that we are called as a collective to really question that, because if we don't start to challenge the issues and the root of the issues and where those issues come from, we're never going to overcome the issue. And I think all of us can agree that we live in a world that is very divided, that is very in survival of the fittest and who's going to win and how am I going to overpower and how am I going to conquer and how am I going to destroy my enemies. That is some serious energy. And if we can't learn how to be a little bit smarter than a really strong energy, then we're fucked, right? And nobody wants to be trapped in that energy. So we have to be smarter. We have to be assertive. We have to be, well, yeah, in a lot of ways, we have to embody the warrior spirit, but like a warrior energy that is just set loose and like thrown out in the, like, I think of like a warrior energy, like an unhealthy shadowed state of a warrior energy. I think of like a prison guard, you know, like those people are like cops, like you're talking about some like egomaniac, I'm in control of you and I'm gonna, like protect and serve what? You hunt people down and set people up and seek to attack the weak. Like there's nothing Like that is not an honorable warrior. And if your warrior energy is not with an energy of integrity, then that is an energy that everyone is going to want to completely distance themselves from. So we question it. We understand where it comes from. How did it take form in my life? And I guarantee you 100% of you are going to find the answer to that when something happened to you that was out of your control. And the only way you could protect yourself was to bring a destructive energy to another person. Because if it's me or you, it's going to be you. Right? And I think that there have been a lot of people facing that demon. Because if you put anyone in a position where they have to say it's me or you, especially if they've got Aries in their chart, it's always going to be them. Aries is the I. Aries is the initiator, right? And I feel like Aries, you're understanding your shadow so that you can understand the root, so that you can walk yourself through this process. You can be on either side of the story, dealing with somebody in this energy. Take what resonates for you, how it resonates. I do know that I have some Aries out there who are energy workers and, and healers. And so it could be that you're very easily, very, very much could be that you've been dealing with people in this energy, right? Take what resonates for you, how it resonates. But you're smart enough to ask why. You're smart enough to figure out the root cause. You're smart enough to figure out how you can go in and you can correct that within yourself, so that you can move forward, either to give an offer of mentorship, a sense of it, or to, I don't know, give or receive, whichever side of the story you're on. Don't be dirty. I swear. Oh, y'all, I love you. Okay. The Chariot. The Nine of Swords. The Emperor and the Two of Cups. Well, for a lot of y'all, I do think that there is a relationship here. I mean, you've got the Ring, the Two of Cups, but that doesn't have to be, I mean, it could just be very well that you are healing a relationship, with a group of people, with a community, with a friend, with your family. You know what I mean? Like that could just be that, like, okay, if we're broken, how do we fix this? Right? Like, like sometimes you just, like, you can't go your entire life with brokenness. And sometimes you go so long in life facing like situations that bring brokenness to your door that you're just like, but I feel like you're questioning yourself, you're pushing yourself past your comfort zones, so that you can honor what it is that you're committed to, like a sense of development that I think you're committed to, and a decision to really, I think, commit yourself to that. Even if it's not a relationship, it could just be that you're working with like a person. It could be that you've taken on a mentor, right? You've taken on, somebody who is teaching you a new practice, a new skill, a new art. Obviously, it can resonate differently for everyone. Take what resonates for you, how it resonates, and leave the rest. These are general reads. Okay. Oh my God, I'm like sweating. It has been like so hot. Well, I don't know. I like just like the energy has been fire. And I feel it from the inside out. Okay. Let's see. Death. Well, it's the death of that energy, right? It's the death of that destructiveness, that unnecessary destruction, that energy that you got locked in. And understanding it allows you to kill it because you need to kill it. And then you need to like integrate the heart of it and into you because, well, I guess kill kill it might be a little extreme, huh? You need to tame it because, but in taming it, you do kill parts of it. That isn't inaccurate in its entirety, but slightly exaggerated in its expression. But it is important to harness that warrior energy. It is important to be able to know when to protect and how to protect and what needs protecting and how it needs protecting. You know what I mean? Like, and it's important to do that on behalf of yourself. And because if you can't do it on behalf of yourself, you cannot do it on behalf of anybody else. No. You know what I mean? And so you need to make a decision to take the work that you have done and implement that. I think that you're doing that. I think you're starting to integrate, and I feel like that's part of where this mentorship comes in, because once you can acknowledge it, once you can name it and you can tame it, then you can start to work with it, then you can start to heal it, right? But that is its own process. But I think that you're conscious of that, and you're, I think, wanting to take action toward that, because you know that if you want to move forward, you have to move forward as a healed, integrated version of yourself. And that's not something that happens overnight. And so I just kind of feel like this, you better get to it then. You know what I mean? Because you're wasting time, and everybody's not going to stop what they're doing to like let you piddle around and decide whether or not you want to do it. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like if these people are going in this trajectory and you know that the only way you can go like on that trajectory with them is if you start that healing process, if you sit around and you hem and haw about it, which isn't an Aries thing, but just because you're an Aries doesn't mean that you don't have other signs in your chart that don't slow that energy down for you. But okay, so anyways, that being said, I just kind of feel like you're aware of all of those things, and so you make this decision, and you're backed with a shit ton of Aries energy right now. So if ever there were a time that I think you felt not only like free and capable and empowered to do it, but just like willing, it would be now. But depends on my Aries. Yeah, I do feel like this, like Michael W. Smith, Michael J. Smith. Anyways, he was like a Christian artist, like from like when I was a little girl. But there was this song every time we moved, because we moved all the time. My mother would play this song. Here's where the roads divide, or here's where the path something. Here's where the road divides. It's basically a goodbye song. Like there are points and times in our lives. Yeah, that's also a Green Day song. I don't know. That one was the one that came into my head, but yes, also Green Day. But like there just come times in our lives where like we need to part ways with people. We need to separate our paths because our path isn't going down that same path. And if we continue in alignment with those people, then we continue down their path. And like there's a sense of division that's occurring, a decision that needs to be made about the direction that you want to take. And I feel like you know what direction you want to take. I feel like it might feel like a sad decision, but one that I think you're very aware of. Like it's a necessary decision. But I mean, you have the Chariot, the Emperor, the Temperance, the Hierophant. You have a lot of major energy. The Sun. You have understanding. You have awareness and abundance and power and balance, in the movements that you're making. And I think there are movements that you've been wanting to move toward, but just like for whatever reason haven't been able to get through because of this issue that you've had, this energy that you've existed in. Okay, well, Aries. I mean, it's a good read, it is. It's not always an easy energy, and I don't get the feeling that you're feeling super great about the energy. I mean, maybe you are, but it depends on where you're at in the energy. But yeah, there is an idea of like, if you want to like come back to yourself, then you have to let go of that overcharged, hyperactive energy, like obsessive, compulsive energy. Aries, I love y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me. I'm proud of you because I know this isn't easy, and yet it's necessary, right? Because the beautiful thing about dealing with our demons, facing our issues, clearing out those energetic blockages, is that even if the path that we started, like even if that motivation for like, I want this, and that's why I'm going to do this, even if that isn't what you get, what you're going to get is what's meant for you. What you're going to get is what is aligned to you. And that is all that matters. So, on that note, we will call it a read because, yeah, I believe that we have reached our completion. Aries, thanks again. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.